On episode 47, we're mixing things up, coming at you with a themed episode. We're talking all about how to handle negative reviews and comments. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to the 88 Dental Marketing Show. This is the internet's only dental show that's answering marketing's most important questions. That's what we do. I am your host, Joshua Scott. Guys, this is episode 47, coming off an amazing Memorial Day weekend across the country. Hope you enjoyed it, the time off. We got some really great questions today. We're going to be handling the topic of online reviews and comments. Specifically how to handle negative ones. And so this goes right along with my new article for the month of June called Haters Gonna Hate. You'll find the links to that down below. But just recently I've had a lot of clients dealing with negative comments, reviews, and so just been coaching them on how to handle that. Wanted to field some questions, write an article about it. So hopefully this is a good episode for you. Before we get to some questions, I'd love to hear your questions. What are some of the marketing things you're dealing with? Questions you have, specifics for your practice. Maybe you're wondering if something like this works for your practice. Maybe you're getting ready to launch into a campaign or working with a company and you just want some feedback on it first. Leave some questions. Again, down below, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're at, leave those questions. I will make sure that they get on a future episode for sure. And yeah, let's go. Episode 47.
Our first question is from Peyton. How do I respond to a negative review?
Peyton, this is the question, right? When it comes to negative reviews, how do you respond? And what I found a lot of times is we have one of two options instinctively, right? It's like that fight or flight reflex. And so there's part of us that wants to respond back and fight and confront that person. And then there's part of us that just wants to delete it and pretend like it never happened, right? And so neither of those are really the best strategy. What needs to happen is you need to have a general and sincere response to that person. So general, we're not going to address the details of the review. Sometimes they can be very specific and pointed, and so we don't want to address that. We want to be very general, but we also want it to come across very sincere. And one of the things you have to realize is you're really not responding to this patient as much as you're responding to the entire online community for them to see. And so, Mrs. Smith, so sorry that you had this experience. This certainly isn't up to our standard of care. Somebody from our office will be reaching out to you shortly. Leave it at that, super general, super sincere, and everybody else that sees it will see that you made an attempt to handle it. But in all situations like these, please don't delete the comment. And I know that that can be an instinctive reaction, like, hey, this is my Facebook page. This is our Facebook page. I mean, you can't just come and leave a comment like that. But the fact is, they can. I mean, this is America, right? And so people can say what they want to say. The issue becomes if you delete it, and I've seen this over and over and over again, you delete that comment, now they get mad. And now they're gonna leave the comment again and probably reference the fact that the first one disappeared, and they'll probably leave it on other sites, and maybe it started off on Facebook, but now it's going over into Google and Yelp and other areas, and now they're trying to blast the internet with that comment. So deleting it makes it worse. Responding to it aggressively makes it worse. Just reply to it generally and sincerely.
Question number 2 from Vernon. We've been running Facebook ads, but have gotten some negative comments. How do you handle those?
Vernon, so here's the deal, right? So there's kind of two types of reviews and comments that come along. There's going to be the organic ones that happen on Google and Yelp and things like that. And then there are the ones that happen on your ads, if you're running Facebook ads like you are, or Instagram ads. And I treat these differently, okay? If you are running an ad, you are paying for a marketing piece. You want to control the context of that. You want to control the environment, so to speak, around that. And so I would handle those reviews differently, okay? So on Facebook, if it's a Facebook ad, I would hide those reviews. Just click on them, hide them. Nobody else needs to see them. And there's a few reasons. One, you're paying. Like, this is marketing. If you were paying for a direct mail campaign and somebody was coming along and like painting all over, like drawing mustaches on your direct mail campaign, I don't know. I just made that up. But if it was to happen, like, you would not want to send those out, right? So because it's affecting the whole image of your practice. So hide those reviews. Secondly, I tend to see that most of those are people that are unattached to your practice. They're not patients because you're marketing to a demographic that's not your patient base. It's outside of that. And so you're just seeing a lot of random people that just want to be trolls on the internet, right? And I mean, we all know this, we've all seen this, but there's trolls, they're gonna make comments, they're gonna take shots, and in the end, nobody else needs to see that. Just hit hide and move on. So my rule of thumb, our rule of thumb, if it's organic, if it's a review, let it be, respond to it. If it's an ad, hide it.
Question number 3 from Joan. We normally respond to social media comments. Should we be responding to reviews too?
Yeah, my standard response here is I would reply to everything all the time. So if somebody's leaving a review, I would absolutely reply to that, even if it's just a quick thank you, glad you had a great experience. What's interesting is Google's actually made some comments here in the last 6 months and published some pieces that say responding to your reviews on Google actually play a role in SEO. And so how big that role is, I don't know. Out of the 100 things you could be doing, I mean, it might be like 1 or 2% of that. I don't think it's making a huge deal, but they're saying that those who respond to reviews faster tend to get ranked higher. And so that's a factor. We're gonna see it become more and more of a deal. Look, I think social media, to me, everybody talks about social media being so new, right? And like it's the new thing and all the kids are doing it and it's crazy and the world's going and da, da, da. But like social media is almost like sitting on the front porch of your house and the neighbors walk by and they say, "Hey, Joan, how are you?" It would be extremely rude if you didn't respond to them. If you just sat there and just watched it and they walked by and you did that to all the neighbors. And so you're gonna reply to them and say, "Hey, good to see you. Are you enjoying the weather?" I mean, there's gonna be some interaction. And so for me, that's what social media is. It's like, it's new, but it's old. Its roots are in something that's community-based. And so I would treat it that way. If somebody takes the time to acknowledge you publicly, I think you ought to take the time to respond to it. So that would be my suggestion. Respond to reviews all the time, create that conversation. So guys, that wraps up episode 47. Question of the episode: how do you respond to negative reviews? You agree, disagree with some of the stuff we've said? Leave the comments down below. I'd love to see those. One more thing here too. I feel like I probably just need to throw this in right at the end because we're seeing more spam reviews come in. And so if you ever have a review come through where it just looks like the English is really, really bad, and we've all seen those where it's like, I don't think an actual human wrote this. Chances are it was written by a bot somewhere, and they're getting better and better at scamming review sites. And so we've seen some of these spam reviews come in to Google or Yelp or these places. And so if you find yourself in that situation, look, super easy, report it to Google, report it to Yelp. We typically see those get wiped off right away because they acknowledge that problem. The other thing here that's probably is worth mentioning, any review that's a personal attack. It's a personal attack at you, it's defamation, it's a personal attack to a doctor or a staff member on your team. Report those as well. And so those are probably the two areas we didn't talk about in questions, but both Google and Yelp and all review sites have language in their policy that talks about defamation and dealing with that. And so typically when something is a personal attack, report it, they'll take those down as well. And so we've seen that a lot. So guys, I hope that helps you handle your reviews, respond to them right away, engage with that community, even if they're negative, just be general and sincere, and I think you'll start to put together a winning strategy here for dealing with online reviews. Until next episode, I'll see you.
You have it!